Okay.
Hey, good morning everyone. Thank you again for joining us in another training. Today we will be talking about basic customer service development. Okay. Now before we do that, and before we start all that, I have the attendance list which is very important. So I'm going to pass it around. Please just fill it up. Okay. With your name, your title and your signature. So we wait for that to go around. Meanwhile, there are a lot of snacks. Please help yourself. Okay. So that you don't feel sleepy and don't feel hungry while we're having the session, yeah?
I thought snacks make us more sleepy.
This one is high calcium, high energy.
High calcium.
Yeah. It's a good weather today, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Just give a few minutes for that to pass around while I just retest the system. Okay, it works. Okay, all right. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Just help yourself, not yourself. Oh, look at Presley, man. He's the champion. He's restarted. Sorry, Jessica, can I ask a small favor? There's some cold drinks outside behind the table. Would you mind just bring that? Sorry, I forgot that one.
Can you carry it?
Yeah, I think better David go lah. A bit heavy. Quite a few drinks there. Sorry, forgot about that.
Where?
Just behind the table here. All right. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. We just wait for David to come back with the drinks, so we are a bit refreshed. Okay. Alrighty. It was chilled in the morning. I hope it's still chill. Okay, alright. Okay. Alright, so while we wait for the distribution of drinks, so today we'll be talking again about basic customer service development. We'll be challenging some ideas in the past and how it's different now and then what it was before. And before we start, I always like to start with an icebreaker. It always gets the group together, you know. So because as trainers, we are always asked to make sure that the group that we conduct feels in a very safe environment and non-judgmental environment, things like that. Okay, so for today's icebreaker, I actually thought of a game that some time back ago, I went for a training and someone said, what is the best sounding sound in the world? What is the best sound in the world? What is the best sound in the world? Or the best thing to hear in the world?
Compliments.
Sorry?
Compliments.
Compliments? Oh, that's a good answer, yeah.
The best sound.
Yeah, the best sound, any sound, anything. What's it? Yeah, compliment, yeah, compliment, that's a good one. Presley, how about you?
Someone.
Sorry?
Someone who say thank you sincerely.
Okay, so that means gratitude, showing gratitude, okay. Alright, so what I was taught at that session was, the best sound is your name. People always like to hear their name. Always when you have a compliment, like what you said, it is incorporated with your name. Like they say, David, oh, good job, you know. So they say that people always want to hear their name. Okay, so today this game is based on that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the first alphabet of your name. So let's say yours is David, so you're going to take D, okay, and you're going to create an adjective, okay, a positive adjective, all right, to your name. So I'll give you an example. Okay, yeah, all right, thank you. So what we will start, for example, I'll just give you an example. My name is Justin, so my first alphabet is J. So my adjective that I would like to use is joyful, okay? And I choose this joyful based on who I am. I like to be in a very happy moment, a joyful moment. I like that. So I picked that. Joyful Justin. You get it? So you take the first alphabet of your name, all right, and you take a positive adjective and what it means to you. Okay, I'm sure we can come up with something. Okay, so now once you do that, go ahead, Google it up, look up, go ahead, it's okay. All right, try your best. Okay, and after that we're going to share it. Okay, so I'll give you about 3 minutes for you guys to quickly brainstorm.
Our own name.
Yes, your own name. So let's say your name is Jessica, so you're going to use the alphabet J and come up with a positive adjective for that. This one can? Huh? Oh yeah, and no, don't worry about the language lah. As long as we can communicate, it's fine. Okay. Presley is very confident. You already have yours, Presley.
I think so.
Okay, man. All right. Just hang on. Let's give others a chance. Okay.
You have yours already?
Yeah, the first thing that crossed my mind.
No.
So we're doing okay here.
Yeah. Look at this one.
Wow. All right, that's good. Okay, Jessica, you found something that means something to you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let me know if you're done. Okay, done. Jessica, done? Isn't done? Okay, we'll just wait for Kong. While preparing my presentation, I kind of realized how hard it's going to be for him. So,
L, okay.
yeah, L okay.
You're using L, okay.
No, K.
Okay.
Using K.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
K is a bit hard. Use L.
And I have this okay. Knowing.
Okay, all right. So if everybody's done, okay, so like I said, I started just now with Joyful Justin, and I picked it because I'm a joyful person. I like to be in a happy state. So that's why I picked Joyful. So what's going to happen, we're going to go around the board, and you're going to share, and you're going to tell us why, okay? And after that, there's a little activity, okay? You need to pay attention to what your friend is saying, because each of us, or maybe randomly, we're going to take turns to actually say out what our friends' adjectives were with their name. So let's say now if it's my turn, I have to say Presley, Kong's, David's, Jessica's, and Miss Sung's adjective, okay? So this is just for us to know each other better, and also to understand why each of our friends picked that adjective, okay? So Presley, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, okay. P, so I choose playful.
Okay.
I like to play.
Play with.
Yeah. God, I choose playful because I like to play with the things.
Okay, all right, thank you. Can we give Presley a big, okay. Thank you, Presley. Mr. Kong, how are you?
Good. And sorry.
Please tell us what you chose as your positive.
Knowing.
Knowing, wow.
Knowing Kong, yeah.
Knowing Kong, okay. And why did you come with Knowing Kong?
Because it's understanding, information or knowledge, intelligent, clever, deliberate, smart.
Wow, okay, all right. So it's Knowing Kong, playful Presley. Mr. David, how about you, sir?
Good. Delightful.
Delightful, oh wow, nice. So why did you come up with that?
Because I like to bring happiness and joy to my friends and everyone around me. So I feel like this suits me.
Very nice. Thank you. Oh, we didn't care for Klong, so we come for both of you lah. Okay, thank you. All right, Jessica, how about you?
Jocular means someone who likes to joke.
Oh, okay. Wow. Thank you. Wait, can you say that again? How do you pronounce it?
Jocular.
Jocular? How do you
Jocular.
You're sure it's not Joker, right?
Jocular.
Oh, jocular.
Jocular.
Okay.
Like
Jocular. Okay, jocular.
I like it. Chocolate.
All right, jocular. That's a heavy one. Okay,
It's more like a jolly.
yeah, okay. So thank you, Jessica. Okay, all right. So, Michelle, how about you?
kind.
Kind, wow.
I like to help everyone.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Okay, kind Kiki, yeah. Okay. So let me see whether I got this right. Okay, so it's playful Presley, knowing Kong, delightful David, jocular Jessica, and kind Kiki. Wow, I'm great. So maybe somebody wants to try?
I can try.
Okay, David, go ahead, please.
Playful Presley, knowing Kwong, delightful David, chocolate Jessica, and kind Kiki. And joyful Jessica.
All right, thank you. Let's give David a clap. Okay, so yes, so this is what it is. What we want to do in this session, because there's going to be a lot of interaction going, and we would like you all to be comfortable when you want to give your answer. Okay, so that it's not something that you might think your answer is wrong, your answer is right. Because today we're going to challenge concepts. Okay, concepts that we know in the past to be in this manner. We might be challenging a few stereotype thinking. Okay, with using modern day research. Okay, so for that to happen, we might have to think out of the box. Okay, when we think out of the box, sometimes we feel our answers are not accepted by people, not welcome by people. So when we do an activity like this, we get to know each other. We keep the space open. There's no judging, okay? So let's just keep it healthy. Let's keep it going. So thank you very much for joining the game. Let me give all of you a big clap. Great job, okay? So let's begin with today's session, which is basic customer service development, okay? So now we're going to have some introduction to basic customer service development. All right. Now, why this topic was picked? There are some objectives and learning skills learning outcome that I would like to introduce to you. So, number one, before we go into the topic itself, why this topic was picked was based on the objective. And VPlan, being a company that is in property management, is always dealing with customers. Okay. So the objectives were based on this. So, number one, the objective is to provide a larger exposure to the roles of customer service in all departments and industries. Now, what we're going to do, the first mentality we're going to challenge is the mentality that the customer service is a person who sits with a earpiece, sits behind the chair, takes calls and gets scolding from customers all the time. No. We're going to challenge this idea where customer service now is going into every industry, every department. From the sales department to the maintenance department to the engineering department to the housekeeping department, all departments are now using customer service skills. Okay, and we want to provide a larger exposure to this role in this training session. Number two is to create the understanding of qualities needed to be better at customer service. Of course, now we know all industries and departments are using customer service, but there are qualities that we need to have. Okay, to be better at this. Okay, and we're going to try to enhance this quality with some practical steps and solution to handle customers and the situation that arise. No one customer is the same. The issue may be the same. Okay, so maybe the issue is about a leaking toilet, but the customer that comes to present the issue may not be the same. So we're going to have some practical steps and approaches to this. So this is the objective. So the talk is generated from this objective, or this training is generated from this objective to help VPlan in their customer service development. Okay. Now, learning outcome. This is very important. At the end of this training, you will be able to identify the basic essentials required to be better at customer service. What is essentials? Can somebody answer me? What is, when I say essentials, what do you understand by essentials?
What needs?
Needs, okay. Kong, needs as well?
Required.
Required, okay. According to Webster, the dictionary, essential means extremely important. Okay, yes, it's need, but look at the word the dictionary uses is extremely important. So what we're going to look at is identify the basic importance required to be better at customer service. Okay, so there are some fundamentals, and we'll go through that. Number two, we want to identify and implement. We want to identify and implement various practical steps in enhancing your own customer service skills. So what we already have, we want to enhance it. If you're really good at it, then we want to make sure that other people can also use it. Okay. Number three is practical methods to approach customers with good body language or positive body language. Okay. So we'll be talking a lot about body language in this talk. Okay. How we talk to a customer, how a customer talks to us. Not so much of how our body language is. We also want to understand the customer's body language to us and how we can go about to tackle them. Okay, so these are three things. These are the learning outcomes that we want to pick out from today's training session. So we're going to go into the gist of topic. So the first one, we're going to do a bit of brainstorming. Okay, so now I'm going to ask everyone to just get involved. Okay, put your thinking caps on. Now, what is customer service to you? What do you understand by customer service? Anybody?
Treatment.
Treatment, very good. Okay. Anybody else? Jessica? What is customer service to you? When someone says customer service, what comes to your mind?
Answer people's inquiries.
Answer people's inquiries. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. David, how about you, sir?
For me, it's satisfaction.
Satisfaction. Okay. Great. Good. Good. Yeah. Okay. It is to you. It's no wrong right answer. This is to you. What is customer service to you? Communication, very good. Good. Yes. David, you're going to tell me something, right, David?
Can I say service?
Yes, you can. It is service. It's very good. Thank you, David. Thank you. All right. Now that we've come up with all this, what this one word that you translate to customer service, I got a next question for you. Okay. Why can you share with us, or can you all share, why is it so important to have good customer service? That means in the past, if you have had good customer service or you have given good customer service, why is it so important?
Oh, like I'm saying, treatment.
Yeah, like you say treatment, like now, so you get a good treatment from this person or a bad treatment, right? But always we want something positive. We want to be treated nicely, right? So why is it important to have this good treatment?
To produce a positive energy.
Positive energy, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Even though that people met, you put being positive energy, so hopefully the other person also positive.
They'll accept that positiveness.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, great.
Everything can help
All
positive.
right. Anybody else? Why is it good to have good customer service?
Good image.
Create a good image. Okay, all right. Hong, why do you think it's important to have a good customer service?
To retain customers.
Very good. That's a very, very diplomatic answer, but yes, very good. Very good. Yeah. It's when you give good customer service, you retain your customer, right? Okay. Misan, how about you? Why good customer service is important?
Can collect more service charges.
Sekali more service. Very, very practical lah. Okay. We give something, we get something lah. All right. Very good. David, how about you, sir?
To ensure repeat business.
Okay, repeat business. We're talking about retain customer, repeat business, and you guys are actually right lah. It's very important for everything that you all said just now. Okay, but as a trainer, I'm going to give you a nutshell conclusion of what customer service is. Okay, all right. Customer service, okay, is about providing sufficient information to your customer about your service and your product before the purchase and after the purchase. So that whole duration when they come to you for that purchase, you give them good information about your product or your services, okay? And always remember, before, we always call it the sales team, right? Okay. And after, it's always the follow-up team, correct? So you must always give a good experience before and after. I come from the oil and gas department many years ago. There's always a saying. They'll always send the good-looking people to come and do the sales pitch. You know, it's a sales pitch. They come and tell you, oh, this is our product, it's very good, and things like that, right? But once it breaks down, they won't pick up your call anymore. You know, so for them was, I just want to sell my product, okay? The back end, they don't want to care. They don't want to take care of the customer, okay? So now customer service is about all this included, from before and after. That's why I told you just now, we're going to challenge the idea of a person sitting behind the phone on a PC, answering calls, complaints, okay? Because if you look at it, before the purchase, right up till after the purchase, you know how many departments are involved? And everybody plays a role to provide good customer service, good service to the customer, okay? All right, now let's move on. Customer service in modern day business and the impact it has. I want to share with you a research I read recently from Gartner Incorporated. They are a company based in the US. They do research online, okay? And they put out surveys and things like that, all right? So when it came to customer service and modern day business, they said in the past, people compete with pricing. You give good pricing. Everywhere you go, no, my price is the lowest, you get people to come. Or they compete with quality of products, okay? So for example, like the guy who sells BMW, he's not worried about the price comparing to a Proton, you know what I'm saying? He knows my product is the quality. That is in the past. Though we think it's still around, but the research says worldwide, 89% of business now are using good customer service for competition. That means the product, the price is now secondary. People want to make sure if they buy something, they get good service. And you see, from before and after. That's what they want now. They don't want just, I buy something for a good price and then if it breaks down, I got nothing to do. Or I go for a good quality product and then I have to pay more price, but then there's no follow-up. Or when I go to the showroom, I'm not treated properly, you know what I'm saying? For example, if you walk into this restaurant in KL, there's a lot of restaurants called TGIF, Thank God It's Friday. From the time you walk in until you sit down to your chair, there are like 10 people greeting you, Yes sir, welcome sir, come have a seat here sir. Then they come like, oh welcome sir, have a seat. It's like your birthday every day. I'm not promoting the restaurant, I got nothing, no shares in the restaurant, okay? I'm just saying the example of customer service, alright? And then, for example, like I always tell this story wherever I go. I know this person who runs a restaurant here in Sabah. Being an Indian who comes from Semenanjung, sometimes we want to taste the local, we want to taste my own food, So I go to the shop, and this guy runs a business, okay? But his marketing or his customer service is a different level. The moment you step into the shop, he makes you feel you're the most important customer, He'll call his staff, hey, buka tu meja, bos sudah sampai, go, So I sit down, then, okay, boss, mari duduk, And then he sits down and says, takes your order and all that. Oh, bro, long time never see you, how are you, okay. And then one time I was sitting down, 2 months ago I told him this story, He said, then he recalled it and he said, hey bro, that day you looking for the palm oil, yesterday only I met one guy, I was about to call you, he said he can work that palm oil thing out for you 2 months ago. And he remembered what I wanted. And your soul, because you feel important, maybe the food is not the best or whatever it is, but you come back there because how you feel. Before and after. He gives good information, good service, you see. So that's why it's so important in today's modern world, how business need to cooperate together with each other. Okay? So far, is there any questions from anybody about customer service? No? Are we okay so far? Alright? Okay. Not yet, Not yet. Okay. So, alright. So now we're going to move into the gist of the topic today. Oh, something dropped. Alright? Is topic number 1. Alright? Basic customer service fundamentals. this is what we're going to do in this talk. We're going to go into the root understanding, we're going to go and trace the root understanding of what it takes to be a good customer service representative. I'm using a very wide term, okay, I'm using a wide term, but what I'm trying to say, if you're ever involved in engaging with a customer, we're going to look at these fundamentals, okay? So please free to take down notes, or if you need notes later, I can send you the slides, no problem, okay? So the first one that we're going to focus on, there'll be 3 subtopics to this, yeah? There'll be 3 subtopics. We're going to focus on the first one, is realizing your impact, okay? When I say impact, it simply means your impression you leave on other people, all right? So, for example, when you are with someone, how you treated them, how you finish a project with them, how you took care of them when they needed assistance. These are the impressions you leave on people. So maybe some people sit down with Kong, he said he's knowing Kong, they say, oh, when I was with Kong, right, he really helped me with all the knowledge he had, man. He went all out to make sure I could complete my task. Okay? That is the impression Kong has left on the people around him. Presley, being playful Presley, he came when the people around him, they felt easy, relaxed, not stressed, you know, they like to just be friendly, you know what I'm saying? That is the impression that you will leave. So now you see why it was so important to pick up your adjective in the beginning. You see, when you said you were kind, you want to help people, all right, that's the impression that you will leave on people. So people know, oh, when I was with Kiki, she was really kind to me. I was going through a lot, she was able to help me. And jocular Jessica, whenever we're there, everybody's just laughing and having a good time. You know, so this is the impression you leave on people. All right? Now, in order to move forward in this training, we're going to focus the impact on communication. All right? This is the impact that you will need to create in yourself, which is called communication, because it's in relation to customer service. So the first one that you can do is cultivate a good listening skill. When your customer is in front of you, talking to you, don't let your mind wander off. All right? Don't let your mind wander off. Be in the moment, be in the present, listen to what your customer is saying to you. Some customers talk very short. My toilet is leaking. Can you please send someone to come and handle it? Very easy, right? Your attention span is for a while. You can pick it up, no issue. All right? Now, let's say another customer comes and says to you, you know, the other day I was having some issues with the float in my toilet, and then we tried to fix it, and then it worked for that time, but then I also realized that the pipe was leaking a little bit, but then we thought it wouldn't be so bad. We put a pail, and then we went to sleep that day, and then when we woke up, we realized the floor was flooded, and I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I think it's related to one of this. Halfway through, you're out. You're not even listening to me, right? But it was very important for that customer that they felt it was important to tell you exactly what they went through, and in case they also made a mistake. Maybe there's something I did that caused this problem, but I'm not sure. If you paid attention carefully to that person, then you'll know how to respond to that person. Either they're trying to blame you, seek your assistance, or they just want to tell you something. Okay? So that's why it's very important to cultivate a good listening skill. Alright? Number 2 is learn good body language. Like I said, we're going to talk a lot about body language. Okay? So let me just ask you a question. Let me just say, if I came for this training, and my hands in the pocket like this, and my eyes were looking at the door, and I'll be like, today we're going to talk about basic customer service development. We're going to do some icebreakers, so you please, you just write, you find an adjective. Man, you're cut off from me, right? Because my body language doesn't want to engage with you, right? So always, as a representative, when you're dealing with your customer, have an approachable body language, all right? When they're talking, welcome them, smile, let your eyes lit up. We'll talk about this later in the body language understanding a bit later on. But what I'm just trying to say, you need to have all this with the customer. When the customer comes, some customers are very bold. They just come up to you, They're not worried about your body language. They just tell you what they got to tell you. They know they are the customer, they are in charge. Okay, but some customers are a bit reserved, a bit timid. So it's always important that you also look out for customers like that as well. If you know there's more things they want to tell, try to guide them to bring it out. Okay, so that's very important. Learn good body language, which will be also, I'll be imparting some practical knowledge later on how to develop this. Number 3, check your message before you send. Now, I've been guilty of this before, all right? Maybe some of us think it's not a big deal, but let me tell you what happened to me one time. In my previous job, all right, there's a big WhatsApp group, and one of the person in that WhatsApp group is the boss of my client, my big boss, the client, the director of the company, all right? And suddenly he wrote a message and he asked for clarification for something. But this thing was done a few days ago and I've already reported it, okay? So since he addressed it to me, I had to make sure I reply lah. So I swiped the message and I typed lah, dear sir, this thing was done so and so on this date. Here just refer to the photo upstairs, the message and the photos above. And I just wanted to put a finger, you know they have the icon, the finger like this, right? To point up, right? So my intention was to just show him that lah, you know. But unfortunately, another finger popped up. No joke, another finger popped up, okay? And I sent it, okay? Because I was doing work, I was rushing, so I put it in my pocket. And when I had time, it's not funny, when I had time, I opened my message and it was, that group was suddenly, that group rarely people talk lah, you know, suddenly so many messages, you know, including that director who replied with just a laughing comment like, you know, haha, hey, don't so angry lah bro, I just asking, you know, like that lah, you know. I mean, everybody realized it was a mistake lah, that, you know, being the polite person I am, I would not say something like that lah, okay. And few minutes later, I got a call from my boss, my own boss, okay, my director, and he says, you really did a big mess up today. I don't care if people are laughing or taking it lightly, but if I was your client, he said, if I was your client, number one, I will think that this guy doesn't take time to do his work. He's very chincai. He just does something to get it done. That's the first thing I think about you. Number two, I will think, can I really trust this kind of a person with 180,000 monthly contract? That contract was a 180,000 contract monthly. This client pays my company. Okay, so when my boss put it like that, it was a big slap on my face to wake up. Okay, so if you all know me, I'm always the guy that always, I double check it, but I always get somebody to always verify it for me. Okay, so it's always important. It maintains the integrity of you. It maintains the integrity and professionalism of your company. Always remember, check your messages. If you think it's okay, if it's a very big thing to do, get it checked by somebody else. It doesn't hurt, you know. Your ego doesn't drop. You know when your ego drops, when you make a mistake and then you cannot sound for that, then your ego drops. So don't do that. Maintain your professionalism. When people look at you at this level, keep it up and find ways to do it. So check your message before you send. That's number 3. Number 4, try to be as brief as you can, yet specific. Okay, I'll give you an example of this lah. Okay, because you know not everybody can understand our technical jargons in most industries lah. Okay, for example, if you have gone on board an aeroplane, okay, you know once you get to the cruising altitude, the pilot will come on board. He'll say ding dong, and he said, good evening or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking from the flight deck. My name is so and so, and I'm flying with so and so. Today you're on board, he'll say the flight number lah, MH1771, en route to KLIA, Kuala Lumpur. We are estimated to arrive at this time. The weather for now looks great, it looks sunny, but we will have some mild rain on the way. We'll be flying at 30,000 feet and we are cruising at 800 kilometers an hour. Sit back, enjoy the flight. If you need any assistance, please feel free to call any of our cabin crew. Simple, right? Okay. He has made it so easy for you. Now, what actually happens is, there's a lot of things he's doing to make sure that he can give you the announcement. So let's say what he actually has to say or needs to say It'll be number 1. Ting tong. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's now 13:00 UTC. UTC is Universal Time, all right, which makes no sense to us. Okay, it's 13:00 UTC. We are now climbing out of the Kota Kinabalu airspace and now going to Singapore airspace, and then we're going to get into the Malaysian airspace again. And then because we are having a plane that is having an asymmetry force problem, so the left engine is going at 60%, the right engine is going at 70%, so that we can have the plane going straight. And now we have inputted the barometric pressure of the sky right now, which is 721 psi, to get the rail altitude of 30,000 feet. And now we are going to go into a time where we're going to face some moderate clouds. What is moderate clouds? Moderate clouds simply means there's 3 to 4 clouds in the region. You see what I'm trying to say? If we spoke all those technical jargons, it will make no sense to you. Okay? So, always remember, try to be as brief as you can, but be specific. Your customers like this, okay? Number 5, keep notes of all engagement with your customer for future reference. This is very important, especially in our industry, to keep notes of what's going on. I remember one of these trainers telling a story. He lives in KL. There are 2 clinics there. Okay? One clinic is full of people. One clinic got nobody. Okay? So he goes to the clinic that has got a lot of people. He go there. And then he realized one thing. Before he goes to see the doctor will pull up the medical research, right, to see what is your problem, all that, right? So when the patient goes inside, when you open the door, the doctor will say, "Hey, Jeremy, come, have a seat. Hey, last time I see your record, you got the ankle pain. How's your ankle pain now? Okay already? The medicine I give you, okay? Remember what we talked about, remembering your customer, making them feel important? That's the doctor did what, he actually can't remember, He can't remember. What he did was he took time to look at his record. And then he could refer back. Hey, last time you had this problem, how? Okay already. And it's very important in our industry that we do that as well. Okay? So, number 6, which is the last point for realizing your impact, is think before you speak. Never get emotional. This goes without saying. Some customers can really drive you up the wall. You know what I'm saying? They can just say things and as if treat you got no feelings. And then you feel like responding like that back to them. Okay? Let me just tell you a little secret. Whenever you feel in a way to respond with emotions, don't. Go back to your company policy. Go back to your SOPs, your procedures that your company has, and go back to the issue. What is the issue and what does the policy say about it? And then you answer the customer based on that. If it is a company policy, it is a company policy. No matter how much they shout or how much they vent their anger, they can't do anything, right? Because it's the company policy, all right? So that is number 1, realizing your impact. Number 1, cultivate good listening skills. Learn good body language. Check your message before you send them. Try to be brief as you can, but specific. Keep notes of all engagement of your customer for future reference. And number 6, think before you speak, all right? So that is number 1, realizing your impact. So like I said, the impression or the impact we want to get across here is communication. So these 6 steps are to help you to have that impact of communication. All right? So I'll just give a few minutes for you to just take down what you need to take down. All right? All right, wonderful. Number 2, learn new things constantly. Okay? So increasing your exposure to education or learning new things increases your cognitive skills. All right? So these are the skills, all right, that help you with your attention, with your language, with your perception, your decision making, your problem solving, things like that, okay? When you learn something new, your mind is expanding, When you learn something new, how you look at things, it's always helping you become better, okay? There's no way that someone has spent time learning something, they have not become better, all right? So, now, why should you learn new things constantly, okay? Number 1 is, it keeps you healthy. I mean, not as healthy as Superman lah, okay, but it keeps you healthy. Why it keeps you healthy? You see, when you're learning, we have these neurons in our mind. So we have got 3 levels or 3 ways the neurons work. The first neuron is, it helps, the first neuron controls your muscles, right? The second neuron controls your senses, or all your senses, you know, your taste buds and, you know, your heat and all that, okay? And then there's one more, the other one controls the neurons, the connection of neurons, okay? So these neurons, they're all over your head, you know? Sometimes it closes the old one, a new one opens. And new ones are always opening. And you open it by learning new things. So the brain develops a new neural pathway. So this neural pathway, what's happening, is also releasing hormones into your body, you know? It helps you rest better. If you believe me or not, it helps you with high blood pressure. It helps you with containing heart attack. So these are things that the neural pathway can do just by increasing, all right? So it keeps you healthy, you know? So sometimes when you exercise, right, you feel healthy. Your body feels healthy, right? Because the same hormones are being discharged from your neurons. Same thing happens when you train your mind. You know, people say when you are physically tired, you're tired, you know? But when you're mentally tired, I mean, you guys have been through that also. When you're mentally tired, your body automatically gets tired as well. It's the same way. When you feed good information, new knowledge, it goes to your body as well. All right? So number 1, it keeps you healthy. Number 2, it opens doors. So for me, what I mean by this is it gives you opportunity when you learn something new. So for an example, in my free time, I'm trying to pick up Mandarin now. Okay, I'm trying to speak Mandarin. It's not my first language, third language. In fact, it's not even in my language. You know, so for me, it's basically Bahasa Malaysia, English, and Tamil. That's basically my language I grew up with. So I challenged myself to speak Mandarin because I believe personally that Mandarin is going to be the business language very soon. All right. So in the long run, I will have new friends that I now can converse with. You know, I can speak Mandarin. I have new friends. Number 2, I'll have more opportunities to do trainings in Mandarin. So I have a different crowd now. So from now, my income was from this one crowd, Malay or Bahasa Malaysia or English. Now I have another venue where I can make my earnings from, which is another group. You see, just because I spend some time learning the language, I'm able to open doors for myself. All right. Now, number 3, it increases your adaptability. Now, what I mean by this, I'll just give you a short example on increasing your adaptability. Let's say now your organization has a new CEO. Okay, a new person joins your team, and he is giving you new tasks from the already overload work you have. You have so many other things to do now. Your CEO is now trying to impart onto the team. Okay, and now you're boiled on with work. Now, let's say I change the scenario. Let's say you have taken some effort to spend time online or whatever to learn time management. How to manage your time. Maybe you go on a HRD e-latte and you learn time management, and then you realize you're able to split your task. All right? What is the priority? What needs to be done? All right? And then you realize you put some time for your already very clogged up work, and you put some time for what the CEO wants to implement. All right? So now, and then you realize after you do all that, you're a bit stuck. Cannot move already. Checkmate already. You can go and see your CEO, and you tell your CEO, CEO, I've done this. I'm stuck here. All right? I'm not sure how to handle my time now. And you can get 3 responses. These possible 3 responses from your CEO. Number 1 is, they're going to say, please get out. I got no time for you, for your time management. You find a way to do it yourself. That is the first response you get. The second response you might get, they might look at your schedule, and they may say, why not you move this item to this priority list, and this item to this priority list, and let's see whether this works. That means your CEO works with you and tries to handle this problem together. All right. Number 3, the response you might get from your CEO, we look at it and say, this is really good. Just do it. Take your time. Just slowly adjust it as you go, but make sure you do it. Now, either way, you have found favor with your CEO because you took a bit of effort to learn time management. So that's why when we say learn new things constantly, these are the three things. Number one, it keeps you healthy. Number two, it opens doors and it increases your adaptability. You get to do more things, all right? So that is number two, yeah? So constantly learn something new, all right? That assists a person in terms of communication, because when you learn more things, you see the world from a different perspective. So you just don't take what your customer is going through at a literal face value, but you're able to think out of the box what else you can do to help your customer and enhance that experience with them. Okay? And now, finally, the third one is change what you can control. All right? This is, I think, the most important thing that a lot of people don't do. They don't know what is in their control. All right? I have heard an old saying before. You cannot control the storm. You cannot control the storm, but you can control yourself. The storm will eventually pass. What this saying is trying to say, no matter what happens around you, you have no control. What you can control is yourself. And I'm going to give you a few things in your life that you can control. Yeah. Number one is your thoughts. What you allow into your mind, which is very important these days. People just feed negative things. They feed, how do I say it, things to bring them down. They talk bad about people, and all these thoughts are really bad. What is very important is to keep it positive, keep it joyful, keep it encouraging. You need to train your mind to keep it in that way. When something bad happens, you're able to find, they say the silver lining in the cloud. Okay? So that's number one, control your thoughts. Number two, how you view yourself. And you know, when we do a lot of trainings, from my younger days, I've been doing these trainings, I realized that this is the number one problem in people's life. They always say, I can't do it, that guy is better than me, she's better than me, or if I do that, I'll get scolding for that. Their view of yourself is so low, so negative, they can't even do anything. You need to change that. You need to tell yourself that you are good, that you are the best. You are the best there is. You are the champion. You need to daily affirm yourself. You wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and you say, even with all the saliva and everything, you say, hey, good looking, how are you? You need to be positive about yourself, okay? So that is number one. You got to change the way you view yourself, okay? Keeping yourself positive. Because when you do that, when you feel good about yourself, and let's say you're handling a difficult customer, you're not sucked down with the energy of the customer. You're able to fight it because you know who you are. All right? Because you know, I'm this person. I am good at what I do. So whatever that's coming my way, I'm able to handle it. Okay? Number three, your schedule. All right? So this is, just now we spoke about time management, it's about prioritizing. So I want to tell you a story about a person that I know who is a procrastinator, a big time procrastinator. One of the things that he procrastinates is fueling up his car. That's how bad it is, okay? Procrastinates to that level, okay? So what he always says, I reach home tomorrow morning, I fuel up. No problem, I go in the morning, the petrol, the tank is open. So it happened, he went home one day with no fuel. Middle of the night, he got a call of an emergency that he needed to go and attend. So he took his car, he went to the pump. And guess what? The pump was closed. Okay, so now from one emergency, he landed himself in another emergency. Now he had to call somebody else to come and fetch him, to come and address the first emergency, because he didn't handle his schedule well. Always remember, when you wake up in the morning, prioritize what you need to do. If brushing your teeth is a priority and it's difficult for you, put it on your priority list. Right? I remember one time a senior manager of mine in the oil and gas, right? He'll always tell me to put a list of my down staff, the staff below me, what I think the problem is. Okay, this person has this issue. What can I do to help this person become better? And then he said, right, at one point of time, put your name on that list too. Put my name, my own name on that list, and see what is your problem, and try to find ways to help yourself. Eventually, you strike off your problems once you start improving, right? And then he said the point of this list is to get this person out of the list. That includes you. So when you prioritize, that's what you do. You put everything on a list, what is important and what is not important. Or I won't say not important, something that can be rescheduled later. You need to do that by yourself, but that will be for another topic by itself, under time management, okay? But what I'm just trying to say, you need to know what is important to do. When it comes to customer service, you need to understand that handling the complaints from the customers or the sales that needs to be done needs to be in perspective of the weightage, okay? So you don't let a customer who, let's say, having a flooding unit wait as long as a customer who maybe says has a aircon leaking unit, you know? So you need to prioritize which one comes more important, all right? So that is scheduling. All right, how you treat others, this is a golden rule. I think every religion, every race talks about this now, you know. Always treat others how you would like to be treated, all right? Sometimes we wish our customers knew this, but they don't, you know. But it's always important. Just because the customer is nasty to us, we don't have to, in Malay they say, balas that way, you know. We have to continuously be nice, be kind, be polite, all right? Because one day, this thing will just generate from somewhere else, okay? So it's very important how you treat others. Be polite, be courteous. Just now you guys were talking about compliments, you're talking about being courteous, saying thank you and things like that, right? So that's all very important, how you treat others. Number 5, or which I think is the most important, this is the most important for me, the people you allow into your life. And this is the last subtopic for this main topic. Your friends, when I say the person into your life is your friends, your associates, your friends can either build you, or they can destroy you. You know, I knew from where I grew up, okay, there are a lot of my friends that made it very big, okay, but there's some of them who got dragged down the wrong road as well because of their influences around them, okay. So in order, if I can give you a practical approach as to how you can address this issue, okay, it's very simple. Sit down by yourself, think of the values you want in your life, you know. You want to be a person who is helpful to other people. You want to be a person who's always talking good about other people. You're always a person who wants to have a positive view of life. These are values you have inside you, okay. You want to be a person that wants to do a lot of charity, okay. So these are things that you hold very dear in your heart, right? Now go to a quiet place and think, what really do you want? What is these good values, positive values that you want in your life? Then go out and find friends with those kind of values. Keep people like those who have the similar values close to you, all right? And then those values will grow. Let's say you want to have a life of positivity. Then you cannot sit with someone who's always negative, you know, who's always saying, oh, look at the weather, it's going to rain again, what am I going to do? It goes nowhere. It goes against the value that you have. So I remember at one time, I was very close to this one gentleman, all right? As I am a very positive person, I'm always bubbly, I'm always excited, you know, I want to help somebody. I just like being positive, all right? Then I realized in the beginning it was all nice, you know, we were able to exchange notes and be fun and all that. Eventually it came to a time this other person became like a very arrogant character, show off. You know, oh, I know Defler lah. Everybody in the world Defler knew lah. You know, like it was like nobody in the world he didn't know. You tell him one name, oh, I know Defler. You know, and it got to a point, he said, oh, I already told that guy how to do lah. He never follow what I do. I mean, but the thing is what, he's not walking the talk. You know what I'm saying? He just says it, maybe under the influence of alcohol or whatever, I'm not sure. But it doesn't get it done. Eventually, I had to make a decision. I had to cut. You know, every time they call, now I'm busy, I'm at work, sorry, I'm at home, my children need me, I just refuse. 3 years, I just cut. Because end of the day, I sat back and thought that I can't carry this negativity, you know, because when you sit with someone, right, you take a piece of that person with you, you know, so always be very careful, all right? So that's number 5, the people you allow into your life. So we have closed the first topic, The first one is basic customer service fundamentals. We have covered that, our first topic. Now, to drive the message across, we've got a small group activity, okay? So now what's going to happen, okay, so let me take out my coat because this is not, let's see, I've got my microphone here, sorry. All right. Okay, so for this group activity, all right, so I name it the whisper says. Some people call it the Chinese whisper or wind blow wind or whatever they call it. Okay, so I call it with a different name. That's all. Okay, no, it's okay. We can leave it here. So what's going to happen? A bit of rules and regulation to this game. Okay, or to this activity. All right. I am going to give you a phrase. Okay, a phrase. All right. And I'm going to pick, so I got how many phrases? I got 5 phrases, so it's 5 of you. So each of you, one by one, will come to me and I will whisper this phrase to you. Alright? And your job is, so let's say if I whisper to you, Miss Ng, you are going to sit down and you're going to whisper into Jessica's ears. Alright? And then Jessica is going to whisper into David's ears. David is going to whisper to Kong's ear, and Kong is going to whisper to Presley's ear. And the last person in the group is going to say the message out loud. Clear? Alright, so maybe we can on the lights for this one. Okay, because there's no slides for this. Okay? Alright, so are we good? Okay, are we good? So we do a test run. Presley, you first come. Okay. Alright. I like KFC. Okay, ready? Okay, Presley, you sit down, or you can just go to Kong, whatever it is. Okay. Whisper.
I like to get MC.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the line was, I like KFC. Okay. So that was just a test run. Okay. So the phrases are gonna get harder because you guys are managerial level lah. Okay. So okay. So you get where this game is gonna go, right? Okay. And we're gonna have a discussion about this later. Okay. So. Presley, you're up next again lah. You're the easiest lah, come. Yeah. How did the frog jump across the boat? Did you use this leg? Can you hear me?
Can I try walk?
Okay lah. So new house rule lah. I'm only required to say this once. Okay.
Okay.
I'm only required to say only once, right? Okay. So I'm going to repeat one time.
No, so saya tidak dengar saya.
Okay. So you all don't look at me lah. You all you're listening to me. Okay. How did the frog jump across the boat? Did he use this leg?
Wait, so I'm just trying to describe.
Yeah.
Sounds wrong.
What?
Sounds wrong.
No, it's not. You have not seen the last one. Okay lah. Okay.
How the frog jump to the lake, then don't know what.
Okay, Jessica, what did you hear?
How does a frog jump into the lake by using his legs?
Okay. What did you hear, Kong?
That's what I heard. Exactly.
What did you hear?
I said, how does the frog jump into the lake without his legs? Without the legs, without his legs.
I'm not using his legs.
Okay, the line that was released to Presley was, how did the frog jump across the boat? It used his leg. Okay, all right. So, okay.
You missed out.
One more.
We got 4 more. Don't worry. Okay, all right. So, who volunteer lah next to go first?
Kiki, right?
No.
I go lah.
Terus.
So bad lah you. Okay.
Terus.
Okay, so come here a bit. They can hear us.
Lagi luar.
I used to like the fried dried chili ikan goreng masak lemak at Pak Din's warung. I repeat one more time. I used to like the fried dried chili ikan goreng masak lemak at Pak Din's warung.
So long.
Okay, so now you can either go Jessifer to Kiki or Presley, Kiki, Presley, Kong, Presley.
Can we do?
I'm required to only say it once.
Okay.
Yeah. But you require one more time, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So this one confirm you, you confirm get it correct lah. Okay.
I hope so.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna stop, but I really continue on. Okay.
Oh Lord, this is going for my accreditation, man. Come, alright, let's go.
Okay.
Alright. I used to like the fried dried chili, ikan goreng, masak lemak. Okay, hold on. I used to like the fried dried chili. Okay, alright.
Luckily can cut.
No, we can't. But it's okay. It's supposed to show the real training. Okay, last one, okay? I used to like the fried dried chili ikan goreng masak lemak at Pak Din's warung. It's 5 times I told you already, bro. Okay. Your turn.
I thought you were going to stop it. I used to like to come here and then suddenly you go.
That's it.
That's what I said.
That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah, alright. Okay.
I love ikan bakar from warung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so David, can you tell us what you got from me? What did you hear?
I used to like the fried fish, ikan, masak lemak from Pak Din's warung.
Okay, alright. So what did you hear?
I like
Ikan bakar.
I like the fried fish at restaurant ikan bakar.
That's not what you told me. That's not what you told me.
I told you what?
You told me I like ikan bakar.
No, I like fried fish. I told you fried fish.
Fried fish. I heard ikan bakar.
Yeah, at restaurant ikan bakar.
At warung, you said warung.
Warung ikan bakar.
That's it.
Okay, what did you hear?
I like ikan bakar at warung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you make it so short, lah, Presley? Okay, anyway, so, okay, as much as the game was fun, there's actually a point to the game, okay? So, number one, why do you think the mistakes happen in the first place? Why do you think these mistakes happen in the first place? This communication, I mean, it was transferred from one person to the other person. Right? So why did that breakdown happen? Yes. Okay, so the transfer of information kept getting distorted along the way from the original source. Okay? Alright, number 2, when someone makes that error, okay, how do we find out? So like now, of course, I'm here and I've got the actual message, but then you see when it went distorted, it's just now we said, he said, I said this, but you said, no, you said that just now, and then he's like, oh yeah, I said that just now. Okay? Then the blaming game happens between the team. Alright? Because you remember something differently. Okay? Number 3, was there a problem with the instruction of the game?
Yeah.
I said, what?
Too long.
No, that's not instruction. That's the game. The instruction. The instruction, how you play the game. I said I'm only required to say this once. But I didn't say I cannot repeat it. I didn't say that I could help you. Okay? So if at that point of time, if Presley, if you turn to me and said, I don't understand what he said, can you please tell me? Then I'm obliged to say, because my instructions were not clear. I just manipulated the English language and told you, I'm required to say this only once. I'm only required, but I can't repeat it twice or twice. There was a problem with the instruction. Okay, so we didn't catch that part. Okay, and number 4 is, how can we make it better? So in a situation like this where you are the person who got the information and you are required to convey this information to somebody else. Okay? So what happens is, now I said something to David. David, I think David got it almost 80%. But when he went to Presley, it got shorter. He went to Kong, shorter. Went to Jessica, shorter. Went to Miss Ng, even shorter already. Okay? So the way that, a good way to handle this is, if you get the information and if you think, okay, this information is a bit too much for me, is to immediately get the team on board with you. Okay, so this is what I got, I don't know how to digest it. Then you go back to the instructions. Maybe the client will come up to you and say, hey David, I just want to talk to you about this but this is what happened, this one happened and all that. And you were like, whoa, I don't know how to handle this. So you come back as a team. Okay, as part of customer service, you come back, because you are not the only one required to give the answer. The company is required to give the answer. That means your organization. So when you represent your organization, if you give a bad response to this client, that means the company is represented. So get together, get the team together, challenge the instructions, work around the instructions, work around the circumstances. So that's the point of this game. Yes, it was also meant to be fun and laugh and all that, okay, but it's also meant to drive a point across. Okay, so we'll take a break to have some makan-makan, and we'll come back in about, say, 15-20 minutes. Okay, so thank you, see you later. Okay. Well, Presley, that was quite